Hey, Pepin.
Yo, yo.
I've been thinking a lot lately about ink.
Ink?
Yeah, like how you got water, but it's really dark and black.
Yeah, like it's inside of pens, right?
Sometimes it's inside a needle.
A needle. Ooh, jeez.
And then you get stabbed over and over and over and over and over and over.
Is it consensual?
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, you pay money for have this happen. Talk about tattoos.
Oh, okay. I thought this was some kinky shit here. Okay.
Well, it can be.
Oh, we need to talk.
Welcome back. So glad you guys could join us. I am here once again with my best friend Nathan Pepin. How's it going, Pepin?
Yo, yo, doing well. How about you, Steve?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for asking. And I want to start off by talking about this video here. We're actually shooting video on this episode.
It's a little scary, isn't it?
It's really intimidating, and I'm excited. And speaking of intimidating and excited, we have one of my other best friends in the world, Nick James, here today with us. How's it going, Nick?
How's it going? It's good to be here.
I'm really glad that you're here. Now, I think you and Pepin have met once or twice, a couple times?
A couple times, probably back in Orono.
Yeah, you and I met originally in what we'll call Orono, which is where we went to college.
Orono, that is where we met.
It's literally where we met.
Is that what you're really calling it?
That's what we're calling it. So we met in college. Pepin and I went to college together too. But I think there was like an overlap between when you left and when I actually met you technically. There was a little bit of an overlap. But with all of that said, I want to talk about tattoos today, guys, because I got a new tattoo half a year ago.
And was it done by Dan Kelly?
It was.
Oh, Dan Kelly's amazing.
Dan.
He has like such a... It's kind of strange because he used to not be very artistic. Like, not at all in high school. But as soon as he got out of high school and started doing the tattoo stuff, like his art is incredible. Like we're gonna show some stuff on the description here, but it's crazy.
It is. He is an extremely talented artist in general, and I think he was doing a lot of art stuff in high school. I don't think he was as outward with it as he is now.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember. I know he did some guitar stuff, but not much with like drawing. But maybe that's just my recollection.
Fair enough.
But what did you get done?
I got I have a few tattoos. I kind of want to go over all of our tattoos. Nate, do you have any tattoos?
I'm very boring. I don't have any tattoos.
Blank canvas.
You're ready to go.
You're ready to go.
Wide open canvas.
Yes.
Nothing blocking you.
Yeah, I don't think I would get a tattoo, to be honest, and we can cover that maybe a little bit later. Mm-hmm. But
why wouldn't you get a tattoo?
It's like... it's permanent. That's the main issue.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And
it better be for the amount it fucking costs.
If you get a cheap tattoo, it's not a good tattoo.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of anything good enough. Like there's nothing like oh, that would be great. Like, oh yeah, I should get a tribal tattoo or a tattoo with this. Like I can't think of anything that would be like, I don't know, like a good enough idea, because it's like I write stuff on my phone. I'm like, this sucks, but I can erase it.
Wait. What? You write stuff on your phone, but you can erase it. What does that have to do with?
I draw pictures. I can throw them out.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you would want to get your own art put on you?
What I'm saying is that I have so many ideas, and I throw them out so commonly that if I had a tattoo idea, no matter how great I thought it was, the next week I would think it would be shit. So it's like,
I started with something super small, and that was my gateway into getting tattoos. It was something I was interested in, and I think it was more like a rebellious thing where I just wanted to get something that I knew would be permanent and would be looked down upon by a lot of different people. So I had my sister get Indian ink or India ink, and
is there different types of inks?
Yeah, so this is like stuff you can buy at Walmart. It's called India ink, and we had a pencil and string and a needle.
So it was a cheap tattoo.
Yeah, we took the unsharpened pencil and the needle and wrapped string around it so that it would stay in place, and then we lit the needle so it would sterilize it.
Perfect.
And then she dipped it in the ink and just stabbed, nice. And just did it by hand for. It worked. I mean,
was this in high school?
Yes, this was at the end of high school.
I think I might remember you showing me. What was it again that you got?
Were you old enough to get this tattoo at the time?
I got and you can't really see it. Maybe we'll take pictures and put those like on Twitter or something. But it's right here, and it's the Scorpio symbol.
Yes. So it's right on your chest, and yeah, it's like a.
Yeah.
It actually doesn't look bad. Your sister did that.
Yeah.
Was that Sasha?
Yeah, Sasha did it, and it's super straight lines, but like you can tell, it's like it's a little more faded, and it's very stabby. Like she didn't cut me or anything, so she did a really good job, and I'm happy with it.
I gotta say that's like one of the best tattoos I've seen because it's not only like homemade, but it's like from the heart, from family.
That's true. Like it's straight up family.
Yeah, it is too.
So I liked it so much, I had her do another one. So I have one over on this side, and it's a letter S. So
For Sasha?
No. It's an S because that's the mathematical symbol for entropy, and entropy is just randomness in the universe. So it symbolizes that the universe is random. And if you want the real secret, this is an S, and the Scorpio symbol is an M. Secret. So it's actually my initials on my own chest because I am that vain.
It's kind of like Superman.
Exactly. I rip it off, and there's just a little tiny S, just like Superman.
As far as homemade tattoos go, that's probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. Usually they don't look nearly as good.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of our friends who told stories about Melcher, he did a tattoo himself. I'm thinking that maybe that was the one I was thinking of, but he got one he did himself, and it looked like shit.
Was it a smiley face or something?
Yeah, I think that was a smiley face.
Okay.
And I don't think he sterilized the needle or anything, so I think he was a lot less...
That's a bad move.
We did it the right way. I don't even think it was Sasha's first time doing a tattoo in this manner. She probably did one on herself, knowing her, because she's fucking badass.
She opened up shop at the high school?
Yeah, pretty much. Tattoos, talk to me.
What other tattoos you got besides your 2 chest ones? Because I don't have my chest done yet, but I want to get it done.
I have my upper arms. I'm trying to keep all of my tattoos in a place where...
Are you trying to keep all your clothes on?
Most of the time, but we can talk later. I'm trying to keep all of my tattoos up above my arms so that I can wear short sleeves and you don't know that I have tattoos. This one, my most recent one, did drop down quite a bit, so you can still see it.
It's like elbow grease.
So my next one was this one up here, which is...
And that's on your upper arm right there?
Yeah, it's all the way on my upper arm. It's the Pokemon Trainer and Pikachu from Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy. And I got that in New Orleans. We went to...
That's cool.
Visit my grandfather, and everybody in my family, we all went out to a tattoo parlor, a local one in right off Bourbon Street, and we all got a tattoo. So that was like a family
tattoo
event.
Party.
Exactly. It was a family thing.
Yeah, the cool thing about that one right there is that it's like all pixelated and kind of like it's very retro looking. Like whoever did that actually did a good job with the
They did do a
pixelation.
really good job. Now
Yeah,
it's
the
pretty
line work
simple.
on it.
It's pretty simple because it's pixels, so it was just squares. But they did a good job, and it was a visiting artist from like out of state who just happened to be at that place. So they were wicked chill. They're like, "Oh, that's a nice Mario." I'm like, "You don't need to know what it is. It's fine."
And how long ago did you get that?
That was years ago now.
How old were you when you first got your first tattoo? You said 18?
I don't remember. I think I was out of high school. Maybe not. I don't remember. I think I was probably in college, so I was probably like 19 or 20.
I think my first one was the summer break before college.
Really?
Is when
What'd you
I went
get?
into it. I got the breast cancer symbol on my left shoulder blade on my back.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
my mom's name in it. So it's got some pretty deep meaning to me. It was my first tattoo. She actually gave me a hard time about getting it because I told her that her name was going to be on it. And she said, "I don't want my name on your back for the rest of my life." She was pretty, she was, I wouldn't say like angry at me, but she knew I was going to get it anyway. So when I put my mind to something, I'm definitely going to do it.
That's very true of Nick James.
Yeah. Like I'm a typical Taurus.
It's definitely better your mother than like some random girl.
Random, yeah. You woke up with it. Whose name is this? Yeah. She said she could do it with a pencil and a needle. Oh, what did I do at the party last night?
Is that you said that's on your back shoulder?
Yeah, my left shoulder on the back.
Yeah.
I don't really want to take my shirt off.
That's fair. That's fair.
Any other tattoos besides that one?
I got another one. I got it like 2 or 3 years ago when I was in San Antonio. Maybe it was even a little bit longer than that. I was out there just visiting family because my extended family, my dad's side, is out there in San Antonio, which I'm actually going out there in October for my cousin's wedding.
Oh, nice.
Which is nice. So I got those tickets booked.
Yeah.
Can't wait to go out that way.
In the middle of summer.
Yeah, it's going to be hot for sure.
That's awesome. Then you'll take your shirt off.
And what's that one of?
It's a rosary. My grandfather.
Oh, like the beads that people pray on each one and move
I
them?
think the camera can get this one. So this rosary right here. I got
Oh,
that.
wow.
It's pretty big. It goes up and over my shoulder here.
Oh, wow.
So it's like hanging off my shoulder, which is pretty sweet.
That must have been painful, dude.
Yeah, actually. So I was in San Antonio visiting my aunt, and she said she had a tattoo artist that she usually goes to, and I was like, "What's the chances you can get me in?" So I looked on the website, on his website, and he was booked out 4 months. So I was like, "There's no way I'm going to be able to get in there." And she, of course, pulled a few strings for
made
me.
it work.
Yeah. So we told the guy the day before. He drew me up. And then the next day came in after his full day. So he worked like 9 to 5, whatever his hours were. And then he worked with his son in the tattoo parlor from 5 to 11, I think.
Wow.
So it was a few hours. And obviously I had my shirt off the whole time. And I was holding my shirt. And it was so painful on my ribs. I guess like when you die and you get like a tattoo on your ribs, you can still see it like after death. So it's like permanently on my like remains, I guess.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. But
That's a hardcore way to say that. It's permanently
true.
on my remains.
remember that hiker that they just found frozen? They're still
okay.
doing DNA tests, and he had like a couple like cuneiform like tattoos on his ribs.
Yeah.
They were showing what kind of tattoos he had. So yeah, getting back to the rosary, my grandfather passed away when I was 2, and I really didn't know him my whole life. And I was downstairs in my grandmother's house, and I was underneath the stairs going down into the cellar. And just one day I was snooping around, and I found this old rusty nail underneath the stairwell, like on kind of a back corner of it, and it was hanging from the rusty nail. So I brought it upstairs because it was a piece of jewelry. I thought my grandmother, like for some reason, put it downstairs, and she said she hadn't seen it in 12 years.
Wow.
So she was like, you know, in awe when she saw it.
I
And
like
was
would just get chills down my spine.
yeah,
That
I
was
mean, it's a pretty
awesome.
crazy story because like I would have probably never got that tattoo because I'm not like overly religious. I mean, everyone's got their own beliefs, and I don't think we should get into that. But it was just something like that was meant a lot to me because my grandfather, like my whole family has always told me my grandfather was always watching over me because he passed away, and like I don't know if I was his favorite, but they always say like he was watching over me.
You were his favorite 2-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Probably.
no doubt.
Actually, my cousin's only like 4 months younger than me, so.
I stand by what I said.
But yeah, so I got that in San Antonio. That was awesome. It was quite an experience. I mean,
Had you been wanting to get it for a while when you went down there?
yeah. So
Yeah.
the breast cancer one on my back, I had that in my head for 3 or 4 years, and I was like, if I'm gonna start getting into tattoos, this is gonna be like the
Breast cancer is so devastating. Like
It is. It affects
everybody
so many
knows
people in the
somebody who's
US.
been touched by it. I know my mom had breast cancer too. She's in remission now,
awesome.
completely clear. So, but it's absolutely devastating.
I think one thing that's really hard with any kind of cancer is just staying positive and having a good outlook and thinking about tomorrow. It's going to be a sunny day, not rain and snow every day.
Yeah, family tends to be like a big theme for tattoos. It's interesting that both
Yeah.
of your tattoos that you talked about had to do with family.
Right.
And most tattoos I see have to do with family. Like my dad got a tattoo, and it says, I mean, I think it says, the person who did it claims it says it's like Japanese for like family or Chinese for family. It might say something else, who knows?
Yeah,
But-
ramen,
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday, Chinese.
You know what? I'm gonna get that.
But people just get like tattoos for family quite a bit. It's very common. Sometimes they get tattoos of like girlfriends. That's less common. And maybe the girlfriend's like family. Who knows? You can stretch the argument. But it's like, what is it about family and tattoos that kind of like synergize so well?
I think the idea that family is forever, like that's your blood, it's been with you since the beginning and will until you die, and the tattoos are the same thing. Like it's with you forever. So it's like a sure bet of something that you can be like, I know that I'm never gonna regret this because like that's my family, you know. I think that has a lot to do with it, the permanence.
Yeah, I think family is a like it's a big theme for tattoos because it's like your roots. It's where you came from, and not only that, it brings a lot of people comfort thinking about family and like those times growing up. For most people, anyways. I mean, it depends on what kind of childhood you had, I guess.
True.
Yeah.
True.
But it's like peaceful to think like you have something permanent on your body like that from your roots.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is there's people who will question tattoos. Like, I don't question tattoos for the most part, unless it's something like super, super dumb. Like, I don't know, Homer Simpson on your pussy, kind of like that one.
Whoa. I like that idea. I'm gonna get that.
Well, have you seen it's like
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday on my pussy.
it's like this Homer Simpson, but it's like, I'm not sure if it's like a just drawn on one or what, but it's like the lips of Homer Simpson are the lips of the pussy. So it's like that one.
Thing.
Okay, no.
That one, holy fuck, that would hurt.
Or like that chick that's got the octopus ass.
Wait, what?
It's like the Kraken coming out of her
Yeah,
ass.
it is. It's so disgusting.
Is that a real one?
Yeah.
It is real, yeah. for
Oh my
sure.
god, she got her asshole tattooed.
Yeah.
You imagine being bent over dog style on a table. You know what I mean? Especially if it's on Main Street, like tattoo
Yeah.
parlor.
Oh, you mean when she's getting it, not
You're
when
walking by, like eating ice cream, like, what is going on there?
No. Oh my god.
Oh, my cookies and cream scoop never tasted so good.
This really enhances the flavor of my fucking Ben and Jerry's.
This is a nice place. I didn't know Maine was like this all the time.
So I have three more than what I've talked about. The next one I got was this ship. It's right below the Pikachu, and it's from Galaga.
Yeah, Galaga was like that old game where you shot those like aliens that came down, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
But I don't think you could move up and down, just left
You
or right.
couldn't.
Right?
It's just left or
Oh, yeah,
right.
that's right.
And then
so it's like a scroll
you can
bar.
get sucked
basically.
up by the blue one, and then you get two ships.
There's like waves and waves. And
Yeah.
waves.
So it was an arcade game. So you went for high score. It was a forever game, but that's my favorite arcade game of all time. And Pokemon Yellow meant a lot to me because like I played so much Pokemon growing up, and it reminds me of my brother a lot because me and him used to play that game all the time. So like they all have like I have a lot of video game tattoos, but they all have such a significant meaning for me.
Yeah, kind of like we're talking with the family. It sounds like that's gonna stay with you forever. Like you'll be like 60 years old and still thinking about Pikachu, and I choose you.
I will definitely be thinking about Pikachu at 60 years old. There's no doubt. So this was the first one that Dan actually did, Dan Kelly. He works at Venom Ink Tattoo. That place is absolutely amazing, and Dan is always booked out months in advance.
Yeah,
and that's
good
how you
artist
know
art.
it's a really good artist. Like, he is amazing. So if you haven't looked him up, we'll put a link in the description. Definitely do. This guy's amazing. He did the Galaga one, and that's when I wanted to start breaking away from everything I had was like super like either simple or pixels. So it was really straight lines, and I knew nobody could screw it up because I was scared that I was going to get a bad tattoo. But when I saw Dan work and I saw his other work, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to do something bigger now.
Yeah.
So I immediately put a down payment on my next one, and I'm like, I'll see you in 6 months. I'll save up money, and we'll be good to go. And that's when I got the shield on my arm.
So that's on the other arm, and it's on the upper, like kind of like
The right side.
Yeah, and so that's a shield of. Is that the Zelda shield?
Yeah, so it's from A Link to the Past. It's the Fire Shield, which is the second upgrade you get. There's another shield after that, but this is the one that I like.
I like the detail on the top here, how it has like little like kinks sticking off the edge of the shield.
So it's like damaged, and you
cool.
can see like there's
Yeah.
color missing in spots.
It's not just like a perfect shield.
And the color missing isn't color pulling out. It's actually like that's how it was designed to look, like it's a damaged shield.
Yeah,
because
it's awesome.
To me, like, first off, that's my favorite game of all time, Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo. Second, I'm a fan of defense. So when I watch like a sports game, defense is my favorite to watch because I like seeing people stop that offensive rush. I think a defense is arguably more important than the offense. And that's why like that Super Bowl game that everyone was bitching about, I'm like, that was one of the best games I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
Those were the two best defensive teams.
It just wasn't a high scoring game.
Exactly. And all people care about is big points. And that is fun. It is fun, but defense is what I really love. When I play hockey online, I play right defense because I like hitting people. That's really fun. But I like the idea of protecting my goal. That to me is my favorite part. So that it has that meaning as well.
Yeah, I think like defense is a big part of the game, especially like I don't really like watching NBA anymore because they don't play defense, and it's March, it's Final Four for college basketball, and college basketball is a real deal. I mean, obviously, if you put an NBA player in college, kids. Like it's not going to be
It's wild
fair
how much
game.
higher the stakes are at the college level.
Oh,
than
absolutely.
Even though they're not getting paid, like
Yeah,
the
it's
stakes
wild.
are so much higher because it's the promise of the possibility of being paid.
Right.
And I think the skill gap between the lowest tier and the highest tier is way wider than at the NBA level, where everybody's kind of in the middle,
Right.
and then there's a couple outliers who
Right.
are really fucking good.
Well, I mean, I feel like everyone in the NBA is good. They're good at something to get to the
That's
NBA.
true.
They impress somebody somehow, whether it be their dribbling, their shooting, their boxing out, their rebounding, like Dennis Rodman being wild on the court and starting fights. You had to do something to influence somebody somewhere to get into that league. You don't just grow up and get into it anymore, I feel like.
That's true.
You have to go to like a...
You got to work so hard now.
Absolutely.
I think the NFL is a little different. We're way off track though. Go ahead.
So one thing I'm thinking about right now is, so with preference for the opposite sex or same sex, opposite sex though for me, do you like tattoos on a girl or no?
Oh hell yeah!
Is it something that may, like, let's say it's...
It would never be a make or break unless she had the Kraken coming out of her asshole. And then it would make it.
It would make it.
Pounding the Kraken.
Oh my god! Jeez. Get back, foul beast!
Okay.
I'll send you back to Davy Jones' locker.
I'm going to thrust my dagger into you.
So
It's a longsword, thank you.
I mean, I guess it depends on the tattoo, right? Like, it doesn't matter if it's male or female. Like,
What if it was like super fucking racist?
Oh, jeez.
It's
Well,
like
I
a
mean-
big racist.
That's
no, I'm
no,
good.
no. Well, that's just
Deal
because it's
breaker,
racist, right?
Right? It's because I
Yeah.
think a tattoo says a lot about like who the person is. So like if it's something that is like super off-putting in and of itself, like those two we just mentioned, I think that would be kind of a deal breaker.
what if there's a story behind it? Like, I got drunk and someone did this to me while they like drugged me.
That's an awesome story. So do you have any friends?
No, I do not. But
All
I'm
right,
just saying,
well,
like,
we'll talk
that's
later.
really shallow. You're like, oh, that tattoo.
No, it's not.
Let's
Not if
break
it's
before
not if
you
it's
even meet the
racist.
person.
If it's racist, I don't care. I'm not interested. Like get it laser removed.
That's true.
I've heard about people in prison who will sometimes, they get like a ganged up on, and they'll like, draw like a swastika on their forehead.
Yeah, that's what I was
That happened
kinda
in Orange
talking
is the New
about.
Black.
Yeah, and it's like, if you get that done to you, and you're not even like racist, you're not a Nazi or anything like that, like they're obviously just doing that as a tactic right there. Your life is kind of screwed because like you might be the nicest guy once you get out of prison. Maybe I would actually be friends with you, but if I see that swastika there, even if I know the story behind it, I'm gonna like back away because I don't want that
absolutely.
association.
It's off-putting.
That actually happened in Orange is the New Black. Some people ganged up on her and like burned a swastika in her arm or something. I don't remember where it was, to be honest. So what she had to do is have her friends then hold her down and burn the rest of it, so it looked like a
terrible.
window instead of like a swastika. But I mean, that's exactly what you're talking about, is something awful happening to you that you don't have control over, but she found a way to take control back over on it.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of like I let someone sign my yearbook way back in high school, senior year, and he like wrote like tits or something like that, and I got kind of mad because now I can't show like my family in my yearbook.
Right.
So what I did is I drew over it and kind of like did this whole other thing, and I made like the tits into like just some
The Sistine
artwork.
Chapel.
Yeah,
He like goes way overboard.
but like it covered it up, so I showed other people, and like this used to say tits, and like what real? Oh, I see it now, but
There's hidden tits.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have one more tattoo. This is my most recent one, and it was done by Dan. This is the one that's like the most proud because the artwork is like impeccable. His line work is amazing, and I think he drew it like offhand too, because I gave him the idea like within a week, maybe it was a couple days of me going there, so he didn't have much time to draw it. So it's actually all my arm here. And it's a zombie bear in a forest fire, like breathing the essence of the forest. And it goes all the way up to like the hairline of my armpit and all the way around. So it's this entire section here. And let me tell you, it was real painful, especially way up here. Dan was great. I bitched probably the last 3 solid hours, just like trying not to think about it. We talked about quantum mechanics because that got my mind off it for a little bit. And eventually I was just like, dude, this is really bad. I don't want to stop. Just like, how much longer do we have? He's like, about an hour, maybe 2. I'm like, okay, we can do this. But then he stopped and he like sprayed some shit on it that made my arm numb. And I'm like, thank you for the mercy, buddy. Like, you don't have to do that. So like, that was really nice of him to placate me being a bitch. About all the pain, but it was like a 9-hour session. It was brutal.
I think I drank like 2 or 3 beers before I got my ribs done.
That's way smarter.
No, it really isn't though, because they ask you if you obviously like
because
been
it makes
drinking
your blood thin.
or you've been on drugs. But yeah, it makes your blood thin, so you bleed a lot more.
Maybe a painkiller would work. Just pop one.
Take some heroin.
Yeah, there it is. Take some heroin through the needle.
Oh jeez.
This is
every okay. So the
heroin infused ink.
The ink is
We're onto
infused.
something.
Yes. So the ink is infused with heroin, and every time you get stabbed, you get a little bit of heroin. It's a great time.
Okay, yeah. I mean, now I want to get a tattoo.
So let's wrap this up by talking about if we could get one more tattoo, no cost, no limits on anything. What would you get?
James. Nick James.
Nick James.
Well, I do plan on getting another tattoo probably this summer. After I get back from Europe, a little Euro trip I'm going on here in 20 days. But I'm gonna get my chest done. I'm gonna get the Taurus symbol put on my chest. And
That's
it's gonna be
cool.
like
You copycat.
I mean, mine's gonna be my full chest though. So
That's
I probably
badass.
like I'm trying to spend like between 9 and like 1,500.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I get good color. And just a good artist.
I really like the idea of the putting your astrological symbol on your body.
Yeah, I believe in that a lot.
Like if you connect with it, like I connect with being a Scorpio. I am like a Scorpio, and you are wicked Taurus.
Yeah,
fucking
dude. I wish I
bullheaded.
wasn't so like Taurusy.
You are so
really
fucking
is. I'm like
stubborn.
the typical Taurus.
Pepin, what would you get the Taurus symbol on your chest?
God no.
You're not a
God, no.
Taurus.
Are you
You're a
Taurus?
Capricorn.
I am not. Into
He's a Capricorn.
astrology.
He's all about money.
But I wouldn't get a tattoo, or at least I don't think I would.
No,
I
let's
can still think
let's
about
say
it.
you would though. What would you get?
Okay, I'm gonna throw this question back at you guys. What would be a good tattaoo idea for me?
The Capricorn symbol.
That's a fucking terrible idea.
What means a lot to you?
How
Nothing.
about a bar of some song, maybe something you wrote or Comfortably Numb or something. The music bar.
To be honest, I stay
like
away
a
from
small
wordage. I stay away from like the English language because if you like travel to and people don't know English, then it's kind of foreign. Like the Chinese symbols on your arm. Like one good tattoo.
I didn't mean words, by the way. I meant like, you know how you have the bar that you play, you read music, like the music bar, and it shows the notes of like the opening to the Comfortably Numb solo or something. That would be badass.
That'd be kind of cool.
See, I think that sounds pretty cool right there. Yeah. Yeah, because then it's like an in kind of thing, or maybe like some equation or something.
And then if you ever forget it, you can just look down and
just be like, oh yeah, that's what it is.
Well, like typically, I like to think things through and make my tattoos not seem so like obvious when people look at them. Mm-hmm. Like I was debating on whether to get my left leg done, like a sleeve from like the top of my ankle all the way up to the top of my knee. And I grew up at 19 Oak Avenue, so I was gonna get like 19 oak trees and just incorporate 19 oak trees into my leg and have something crazy at the bottom. Just have like a trippy, dreamy, like color
really
rich tattoo, but no one would notice to like count the trees, you know what I mean? But that's something personal to me.
it would mean something to you and only you.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
But see, I like hidden meanings in tattoos like that because like it means a lot to me. But when you look at it, you're like, oh, this kid's just got like a leg sleeve with 19 trees around it. You wouldn't even know there's 19 trees unless you counted, you know?
Yeah.
You're probably focused on like the ferry or like the river or like the fish I put in that picture.
I would get something really sexy.
I would get like the mustache on your finger.
Yeah, I would get my finger as a mustache. No. I would get my finger where my mustache is.
The reverse tattoo. That's funny.
Okay, so I would get Where's Waldo and hide it somewhere on my body.
Oh man, that's disgusting.
And I'd be like, hey baby,
You're already wearing a sweater vest underneath that shirt.
You want to find my Waldo?
Put it on the
And
taint.
it'd be a sexy little thing. Put it on the left ball.
The left ball at the taint.
On the backside.
On the backside of my ball.
Backside of your balls.
The inside of my balls. Okay. So this is Nick. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, it's nice to be here for sure.
Absolutely. Is there anything that you do that you want to plug?
Nope. I'm just trying to live off the grid right now.
I want you to plug something. So is there an artist you like? Is there somebody underground that needs some recognition? Who would you like to plug? Think about that for a second. Nathan, who do you want to plug?
Well, I'm going to plug myself because this is what I do.
Okay. How about I plug you and then you plug Dan?
Okay, I'll plug Dan.
Okay, plug him right now.
All right, Dan Kelly, you are amazing. Your artwork is just crazy. I don't know where it is, but it will be in the description because...
I think he has a pretty straightforward website, like
dankelly.com or something like that.
Something very straightforward.
But he works in Sanford, Maine, I believe, so definitely check out his artwork. He's actually been featured in a lot of magazines.
He travels all over, too. I know he was at a Comic-Con once, and he was the official tattoo artist, one of the two, for like Marvel or whoever that group was. No, it was DC because it was a Batman thing, and he was doing Batman tattoos only, like the Joker and stuff like that. And he's the guy's amazing at what he does. Sorry, this is your plug, not mine.
Yep, so definitely check him out if you want to see some awesome tattoos. I mean, it's really just great artwork. He also does paintings, and his paintings, like everything's super photorealistic, but he also does stuff which can be less realistic, like more abstract or kind of like just video game-ish. So he has a wide breadth of ability. So even if you're not into tattoos, just check him out for the art because the art is amazing as well.
And we'll get him on this show. I've talked to him about it. He wants to come on. We'll get him on. I will plug Pepin, and you've been making some apps. You do several video series, and you write music, you do art, like you do everything. And is it nathanpepin.com?
nathanpepin.com.
That's pretty straightforward. Pepin. You guys know. nathanpepin.com. We'll have a link to that in the description as well. I think my favorite video series that you're doing right now is the Memeology video series, where you talk about memes and you talk about different niche things within memes and the religion of meming in and of itself. Way bigger than just talking about internet memes as a lifestyle, memes as a religion. And it's very entertaining, enlightening, and it has humor. And it has a very distinct Pepin style. Highly suggested. What you got?
So I'm going to plug the ATC. If you guys listen to our next episode, I'll be talking about the 100-mile wilderness and my journey through that in preparation. But the ATC is the Appalachian Trail Club. So go check them out, donate. They're keeping trails clean, people safe, and
that's awesome.
It's a good environment out there.
Is that like are they paid to do that? Is that like a volunteer
That's
only
a volunteer,
thing?
Donations only.
Donations only. Wow.
Keeping trails clean and people safe. It's really nice out there.
Cool. So we'll have a link to the ATC as well, and that would be I would donate to that and donate to Pepin so that he can keep making new apps. And some of these apps you're making are amazing. You want to real quickly just mention the ones you've released?
So I have 3 out right now. One is called Mental Hit. It's essentially combines exercise science with mental training, i.e. mindfulness. I also have Kegel Hit, which applies the same sort of thing. It's for Kegels. I mean, people find Kegels to be kind of strange, but the Kegels are actually very good for your sexual kind of health. And also it keeps you from orgasming as quickly as you might want to. So there's that aspect to it. So you can last longer in bed. And there's also Balancer. Balancer is a pretty simple app. It just helps people balance their cash drawers at, say, banks or their jobs doing customer service. So it just kind of helps a little bit easier than using, like, say, your calculator. As it's a more complex calculator,
nice.
really.
And all of those are free right now?
Yeah, all of those are free right now.
Wow. So you're working so far only on donations.
Yeah. And I've actually got some people using the apps right now, so it's kind of nice.
That is really cool. So check all of that out. We'll have links in the description. I'm not going to have us plug any of our stuff. You guys know where to find us, and there'll probably be links in the description for that too.
I think I want to get a tattoo of, like, dick butt.
Dick butt?
Dick butt.
Hey, we need to talk.
What's up, guys? Welcome to The Plunge. My name is Riley.
And I'm Davis.
And we are The Plunge Podcast. We are 3 college kids on a quest through life to try to figure out how to become adults.
Talking about love and getting rejected by it mostly on Tinder, social media, and the real world.
So if you want to follow us on our journey through life, you can follow us on Twitter at Plunge Podcast.
You can find us on Instagram at The Plunge Podcast.
You can listen to us on all streaming platforms. And last but not least, you can find us on podcastnh.com.